Someone wrote in the comments, and I don't know who it is because I blocked the internet out for huge amounts of time, but he said something along the lines of, I've got a bunch of friends who just want to smoke weed and go on Netflix, and I don't want to do that anymore, but I also don't want to have no friends. You can see the bind I'm in. Well, I can see the bind you're in, mate. And are you sad, or are you happy about the fact that I gave you the Yilmaz voice? Probably happy, because everybody just likes that idiot more than me. Diminishing returns. I should have just put a cap on backwards and said the word hectic a lot. Anyway, look, there's like a couple of things to unpack there. The first thing is that, have you ever heard the phrase, it's lonely at the top? It's two-pronged. The first thing that they're talking about is the fact that most people don't aim to be at the top, so they kind of just like milling around in, middle management or something like that. That is their goal in life, which terrifies me. I can't imagine somebody who, when you hear someone and they're just like, I'm focusing on my career. I'm 47 and my career is being an EA. But, whatever people want to do in their life, it's all just a cosmic journey, whatever. But I can't imagine that you can be fulfilled at that, and on your deathbed looking back at it and being like, I organised a lot of schedules. So the first thing is that most people don't even bother aiming to go for something that's really big, because with really big comes really big risk. So a lot of people don't even bother to do that. But the other part of that is that to get to that position, you need to become exceptionally skilled. And how do you become exceptionally skilled? By working. And how do you best work? You have to be a lone wolf. Facts of life. Cold, hard truths. In summer. But there's upsides and downsides to that. I mean, look, I think naturally, probably because I was an only child, I'm very adapted to spending large amounts of time by myself, which is probably why I can just prattle on for 15, 16 minutes here and just keep going if I wanted to. But after a while, I was just like, yeah, this can't be interesting anymore. But the other point of it is that when you do spend those long periods of time by yourself getting lonely, yeah, you probably get cabin fever. And I think it actually probably is, shame on you if your parents are Catholic and you had 15 kids and you're just part of this little gross little litter and your mum had 17 teats and you were just like, please, please, and they went, and you're the little runt of it. I feel sorry for you if that's the scenario. There's a couple of things that I would recommend for you. The first thing is just acclimatization, that you just need to accept this, that if you're going to excel at something, you need large periods of time to sit by yourself, to crystallize thoughts, and allow them to just gel, because hanging around with friends and things, it emotionally makes you feel better. That's great. And on top of that, you can exchange insights with good friends, can't you? Can't you? Probably not those Netflix and chill ones, guys. It's like, shut up! Mortal Kombat's about to start. But ideally, your friends, you should be able to do that. Unfortunately, if you don't have those people around you where you can mind meld, what you have to do instead is just get acquainted with a little thing called your own brain. The Simpsons talk about it, right? You know how as soon as Lisa Simpson becomes popular and then all of a sudden she's just like, her brain disappears and she's like, yeah, that sounds cool. It is kind of sadly the truth about it. Having said that, obviously you still need to have some friends. What happens, I think, is once you start going down the path of really wanting to excel in your field, when you start going to parties, just those vacuous parties where it's just like, let's talk and have drinks and to meet some people that are very scared of everyone meeting each other and just like, and what do you do? Oh my God, you work in a bar as well? Those things start to get very irritating. So now when I walk around, and probably I've only got about 5 or 6 close friends that I ever talk to at this stage in my life. Just someone justifying why they're a loner. When you're at those parties and you think like, man, I've really got to go out and go to more parties. Then you go to those parties and you realize, this is fucking sad, dude. This is just a bunch of directionless people trying to make themselves feel happier for the moment. And that is a trap. That is a trap. Because a lot of people do just live for the moment. And on one level, I do envy those people, because the other big price of wanting to live a lifestyle where you're kind of excelling at something or having a dream job, the other big price of it is that you do have to focus a lot of time on it, unless you come from a rich family. But if you're from the scum like we are, you don't get that luxury. You have two options. You can either party a lot or you can get good at something. Those are your two things. So the first part of it is, look, just accept that you're just going to have to be alone a lot more than you currently are. Either that, or just sit around and smoke weed and watch Netflix. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. I think that's pathetic, but, you know, your second mum getting angry again. And look, how second mum is this? Just kind of like waking up all frazzled, being like, oh, I've got so much to do today. One video. Well, I'll just get that out of the way, which is exactly what happened. Yeah, so look, that's the one aspect of it. But the other aspect is, have you ever heard of the phrase, like attract like? You haven't? What a shame, because you're about to get schooled on it. What happens in like attracts like, or water meets its level, I like that phrase better, is that, and this goes to dating as well. In my stand-up shows, afterwards, I can almost always tell when a couple that comes up to me is like, we've been watching your videos for years, and they talk to me about it, I can tell whether or not they're going to last. And it pretty much just boils down to, do they look similar enough? Is it two fat goths coming up to me being like, it's pretty good stuff, almost as good as magic cards? Or is it like two sporty dudes coming up and just being like, hey, this is really cool, it's so good, I've got lots of fake tan, never actually been outside, I'm scared of moles. Yeah, those people will probably stick together. When you see two people coming together, say it's like some really nerdy dude and this chick that's just a, you know, like a socialite. First of all, I don't know how those two meet in the first place. They probably shouldn't, but I'm almost certain that those people are going to break up. Now, what the reason for that is that human beings, and as sad as this is, they're kind of just comfort creatures. They like reflecting at exactly pretty much what they are. That's the crux of it. And so if you look around at your friends and you see a bunch of junkies, you might not be a junkie now, but give yourself a couple of years, mate. You'll get into it. Don't worry about that. You're just not motivated enough yet. There will be a day where you're feeling shitty. They go, man, you know, it feels good, darling. How gross does that sound? Let me just come closer. So gross. I missed the boat on YouTube. Clearly the peak of this is not life advice and politics. The peak of it is Slimer videos. God, I wish I could get into that. Oh my God, squishy. Yeah? Do you see where I'm going with this? A really good indication of where you are in life is look around at your circle of friends. Are you happy with them? If you're not, I think that's a really good sign, because if you sit there and go, yeah, these are my boys, like lads do, yeah, that's cool. Standing around a corner store still at 35. Come on. At least get a chair. You've been sitting there for 15 years. You know, like, a natural part of life is that the more you move up in society, your friends change at the same time. Now, that isn't entirely true, because I still hang around a bunch of bum friends, but the reason I hang around those bum friends is because they're funny and insightful, and that's pretty much the people that I like hanging around. I like hanging around people that can go deep into a conversation, and I like people who are funny. So those are the people that I attract into my life. The other people that are kind of just like sitting around being like, yeah, life's pretty shit if you think about it. Anyway, you want another cone? I kind of don't talk to them anymore. I still like them. I wish that they'd change, but I'm just one man. What can I do? And if you are in that situation, first of all, some people always go, but how do I help them? You can't really, I'm sorry. But the other thing is, and look, there's always this comment as well of just like, you're just a bad person because you're not hanging around dropkicks. No, I'm not. Because as a result of not hanging around those dropkicks, Guess who has educated 500,000 Australians about the political system? Yo. Guess who's just been sitting there watching fucking bullshit Netflix film after bullshit Netflix film? The people that go, yeah, but you know, you just got to be nice, don't you? Cut off the cancer. Look, the other thing is, when it comes to these issues, you can still hang around these people, but what you will notice is the more that you get into educating yourself, really excelling at a skill, you will start to realize you just don't have anything in common with these people, and you'll start to drift away. And what will happen, this is unfortunate, is especially unfortunate about being a YouTube content creator, and on top of that being a comedian, because to be a comedian, look, I can talk off the top of my head and make a bunch of jokes quickly like this, right? And it'll probably be better than the average person purely because I've just worked on it so much more than most. But to come up with actual jokes, those tear-crying jokes, I need to sit there and think about stupid scenarios for hours on end. Just the same scenario, just tweaking it here and tweaking it there. It's an art. It's a really low quality art though. Come on, comedy is down there with mime artistry. It's low. But it depends what field you're in. You might have to hang around more people. A good example is my girlfriend, who before this, she was working in the corporate world. Now she's decided that she wants to become an actress, and I'm so proud of her. Oh my God, my special little girl's growing up. And I do feel, it's creepy. I feel like a dad watching her when she's doing one of her little amateur plays and being like, yay, she was the tree. But the thing is that, first of all, extremely proud of her for making that jump. But the other thing that's happened is, in the corporate world, what's the culture? The culture is that you work hard and you play hard. And the reason that you work hard and you play hard is most people in the corporate world, yes, they're intelligent, but also their mind is just focused on really mind-numbing, usually extremely evil tasks, where they just sit there tweaking, I don't know, a business plan or looking at bloody charts all day, every day, on how to make people more effective, how to make a company more effective, and the answer inevitably is always just, yeah, I think we should fire 60% of the people. But they do that. That's their life. And so to forget that their life is shithouse, they get really hammered. And because they're in a corporate environment, it's pretty much just a school in suits, they have 200 or 300 friends, sort of, but those friends are kind of just like, let's get drunk all the time. Now that she's studying, she has to learn a completely new field. What does she do most of her life now? She just reads a bunch of books about acting, or she goes to acting classes. Now, obviously, she has more social interaction than most people, but then they say afterwards, let's go out and get drunk. She wants to actually excel at acting. So she's not going to go out and get drunk. She's going to go back and read more about the craft, because she is at a disadvantage of people who've been going to, say, Whopper and things like that for the last 3 or 4 years. So it's the same scenario with you. It depends what you're moving towards in life, and if you are one of those social people, you will naturally excel at being in a social field. But if you're a lone wolf like me that just likes sitting around and thinking about things a lot, such a pathetic little hermity life. Can you tell? Can you tell by the fact that it's always just a white screen in here? It looks like that thing that Goku trained in Dragon Ball Z to get ready for Cell. That's my whole life, just getting ready for Cell, but he never comes. How much more of a mindfuck would that be if that's what happened in Dragon Ball Z? He was just in there forever and it's like, I'm ready to come out now. Hello! Oh, brutal. Cell never came. Damn, I made myself feel bad. Yeah, look. Just understand those two principles, I think. The first thing is that if you want to be good in life, you have to sacrifice some things. That's pretty much the thing. It's just a really good quote about success is, find out what the price is and then pay that price, and understand that usually it is a very high price, and it is. And then the other thing is, on top of that, when you start doing new things, no matter what the new thing is, those people are going to scold you, laugh at you. For about a year straight, I was mercilessly paid out by my friends. Well, who's laughing now that I can go to one of the major capital cities in this country and sell thousands of tickets? They can't, they wish they could, but they didn't sacrifice. Instead, they kept going out and drinking. So those are your two options. I'm really happy that I do have that life now, and now I can pay for my boys to go into these cities and we have a blast. And it's kind of sad because I'm just perpetually a 15-year-old now, especially because I'm just on YouTube all the time because you have to be to figure out what the algorithm is doing and whatever. Anyway, look, but so, you know, when I'm at like a family Christmas gathering or something now, I just go straight to my nieces who are 14 and go, did you see PewDiePie's memories? Look, but I don't think that that's probably what you want in life. Why would anyone want that? And you probably do want to move into something more social. But what will happen as a result of that, and you just getting better and spending more time by yourself, is that your friend group will naturally mature and evolve. And you will find new and different friends. And what will happen is, because this is what happens whenever I meet somebody who's like, on my level. But this is the same thing as like a junkie when they meet someone on their level, or a CEO when they meet someone on their level, right? When someone meets someone who's a junkie on their level, they'll just be like, yeah, tell you what, just take your end off heroin. I don't do it often, maybe just 5 or 6 times a week, and really they do it 70 times a week. And then the other person goes, man, fucking have you tried Green Dragon, right? And then they just start talking instantly. The conversation naturally flows. And it's the same thing with me. That's why, like, now when I talk to people who I really enjoy speaking to now are people like Josh Wade and Neil Kolhatkar, because they're YouTube content creators and they understand the hustle, yo. So I can talk to them for hours. And then I've got a bunch of other friends who are aspiring creatives, and those people I like talking to as well, because I like talking about not just the bullshit business side. In fact, I hate talking about the bullshit business side. I like talking about the creative side. And those people, you know, they're not as motivated as I am, purely because they just didn't autistically read 300 books on self-help, but they're still interesting people to speak to. But it's because that your level has changed. So when you're going through that transition period, just understand, go through the pain. Go through the pain of those friends just going, you're a loser, you suck because you don't rip huge billies like this anymore. Now you just have the small ones. What a fucking wimp. Just go through that. Go through the pain of that, because at the other end of that is the life of your dreams. Well, not really. It's just you're slightly more rich and you're exactly the same person. Anyway, I see you.